Section 1.8 is about solving word problems, and remember that we want you to get used to using this process throughout the course, the VESI process. So this is really a useful process, so don't think of it as something that we're forcing you to follow. Think of it as something that really does help you work your way through word problems. So VESI stands for, the V stands for variables. It means identify and assign a variable name or letter to each unknown quantity. The E stands for equation. It means after you've assigned the variable, you're going to write an equation. The S stands for solve. That means you'll solve the algebraic equation. And then I stands for interpret. Interpret the results by answering the question with a complete sentence. And remember, we do that so that you'll know what your answer means. When you get to more complicated problems, sometimes when you start writing out the sentence, you realize, oh, I'm not quite finished yet, because that's not what I was asked for. So we're going to do this example. Pete is fencing a part of his backyard he uses a garden. He wants his garden to be 20 feet wide, but the cost of the fencing will determine how long he makes it. The model that represents the cost of the fencing is C of L equals 1.5 L plus 30, where L is the length of the garden. So don't be confused by that language when we say the model that represents. We just mean that that equation is the one we're going to use in this problem. So in this problem, the variable is already chosen for us. So the variable is L, which equals the length of the garden. Now remember, you need to be able to do ones like this where this part isn't already done for you. So make sure you're able to do that if they're not given to you. So L is the length of the garden in this case, and the E is also given to us in this case. Again, you need to be able to do it to write that equation if it isn't given to you. So that's the equation part of this one. So the first part of the problem says, how much will the fence cost Pete if he makes the garden 30 feet long? So remember, L was the length of the garden, so that means that 30 is going to go in for L. So we're asking how much will it cost? So that means we're looking for this. You have to be careful to be clear on which thing you're looking for and which thing you have. We're looking for the cost, we have the length. We're going to write out our equation. So, and it's really C of 30 equals 1.5 times 30 plus 30. So then C of 30, 1.5 times 30 gives us 45. So C of 30 is equal to 75. So the way we interpret that is, remember what C was, it was the cost. So if he makes the garden 30 feet long, the fence will cost $75. So the next thing we get asked is, if Pete has $100 to spend on the fence, how long can he make the garden? So again, be clear on what you have and what you're looking for. You have $100 to spend, that means the $100 goes in for the cost. And then it says, how long can he make it? So that's L. That means we don't know what L is. So then, to solve my equation, I'm going to plug things in the right spots. 100 equals 1.5 L plus 30. Because remember, I have the cost, I'm looking for the length. Now I just solve that equation like I would any equation. Divide both sides by 1.5. And so his L equals, when I do that on a calculator, I get 46.6666, so it's 46.67. So it's going to cost him, oh, wait a minute, that's not dollars. The length of the garden can be 46.67 feet. So probably we ought to round it off a little more and say the length can be approximately 47 feet.